Hi there. Let's look at how some data is presented, in this case as a percentage of GDP. So the data we have is for 4 countries: Germany, Japan, the UK and the United States, and it's manufacturing production measured as a percentage of each nation's national output across the period 1997 through to 2014. Okay, so the data is annual, and the data is not seasonally adjusted at all. Notice that the y-axis has been shortened here. It starts at 10%, and that's obviously that scaling has an effect on the way that the data is presented. But crucially, the information here is measured as a percentage of GDP. In other words, it's measuring the scale or the share of output for each country. And you can see that for the UK, the share of GDP, manufacturing GDP, went down from 23.3% in 1997 down to 14.8% 2014. That's a significant fall in the relative share of manufacturing output in the UK. That's been true for other countries as well. Indeed, it's been true for Japan. They've gone down from 24.8 through to 20.7, and also for the United States, 19.8 down to 16.7. So if you're interpreting the data, 3 of the 4 countries have seen a quite significant decline in the share of manufacturing in their national output. The UK has seen the biggest fall. Indeed, its share, of course, has fallen below that of the United States, having started above it. Whereas for Germany, although their share hasn't particularly increased, it has stayed broadly the same, 25.5 in 1997. It was a recession year, 2009, but since then manufacturing has recovered to 25.7, just slightly above the 1997 level. So Germany has maintained a relatively stable share of manufacturing output as a share of GDP, whereas the other 3 countries have seen a decline. And this is known as de-industrialisation. Now keep in mind, of course, that over this period, the level of GDP will have increased for all the countries. What we're measuring here is the share of manufacturing as a percentage of GDP. And it's really evidence of structural change in the economy. So keep a lookout for this kind of data. Increasingly now we're measuring data such as this and the budget deficit and the balance of payments as a share of a nation's national income.